So whatever you're going to do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
We are live here in Salt Lake City. One more game here today from Field 3 in the MCLA National Championships powered by Under Armour. In Division 1, it's the 5-seeded South Carolina Gamecocks coming out of the SELC against Georgia Tech, a fellow conference foe, but both of these teams did not play during the regular season, which is why we are seeing them here today in Salt Lake City in the opening round of the MCLA Division 1 tournament. Travis Eldridge, Josh Hawkins, Greg Bice roaming the sidelines. We're back once again for one more game of 4 here this afternoon. The winner of this one will move on to play the 13th seeded Cal Golden Bears, who knocked off the 4-seeded Colorado Buffaloes just about an hour or so ago on this field. So already an upset complete here in Division 1. Josh, when you look at these two teams, they're conference foes. However, they didn't play in the regular season.
Yeah.
So they come all the way out to Salt Lake City to play a team that they could play closer in their backyard.
Yeah, they got to be excited to play. I'm excited to watch this game. Little battle of the South, even though a lot of the players are from New York and Maryland. But a little battle of the South, and excited to see Ken Lubbock on the sideline. He's a MCLA legend.
Guys, I've got an update here for you. Georgia Tech's goalie, Alex Crombie, number 34, will be in the cage. He's not there on the roster. We had a little number change, so he will be jumping in there. Not the usual starter. I'm not sure why they're starting goalies out. Alex Crombie, number 34.
Thanks, Greg. You're already crushing the sideline right now.
Greg Bice chiming in. A face-off won by Georgia Tech, but no shot got off. And South Carolina takes over possession and get a chance to clear here for the first time today.
You know what's interesting? You look at the South Carolina roster, you're seeing Maryland, Virginia, New York, all over.
Right.
This is South Carolina's first ever trip to the national tournament. An opportunity to make a statement on the big stage.
Makes sense, Greg. You know, Maryland, New York, they're in the tournament. You know, some guys that probably grew up around lacrosse.
I think they've played once or twice in their life.
Times, yeah.
But you're seeing towns where, you know, those towns are putting players at Division I level, at top schools, like you said, Loyola, Maryland, Ohio State, places like that you and I both love.
It's a South Carolina team that went 16-0 to start the season. Their only loss coming in the SELC championship game against Virginia Tech. Scored a season-low 7 goals.
Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a slower paced game than the crazy fast-paced game we just had with Colorado.
How about that ground ball?
Nice takeaway. It's Jack Topping, the long stick midfielder for Georgia Tech. 28 ground balls coming into this game. Give him a cause turnover for that, too.
Give him that CT. He earned it. Once again, down here on the sidelines, guys, just looking at these players, just big, athletic, fast.
Speaking of big, Riley Callaghan just ran over a guy as he tried to get in the box, and Georgia Tech sets up the offense for the first time today.
Josh, they make you look small.
Ooh.
You've been skipping leg day, though, I can tell. I've been meaning to bring that up since game 1.
It's just the skinny jeans, Greg.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Hides it.
With the French roll?
Yeah.
Are you impressed that I knew that?
I am impressed.
That's style. You got to give yourself more credit, Greg.
I've seen a lot of leggings out there today.
And Georgia Tech gets on the board first. It's Conrad McAvoy. His 24th goal of the season. The sophomore makes it 1-0.
Nice individual effort. Kind of slippery, gets underneath. Nice shot right on top of the crease. I believe it went near side.
It's a big boy goal.
Yeah.
Call your own number, win your matchup, get to the middle, and bury.
Yep. I like describing players like that. Slippery.
Slippery.
Yeah.
It's a good adjective.
It is, yeah.
Slip off the cross check.
There's some guys that just have that ability. Like, they never get hit. You know, they're, like you said, they're just literally slippery.
Yeah, they're slippery.
Who's that guy in Major League Lacrosse for you, Josh?
Oh, man, Mikey Slosher, Davis, California, played at Michigan.
Yep.
Plays for the Outlaws now, man. He is a slippery dodger.
With great hair.
Oh, amazing
Terrific flow.
And mustache. Is the mustache going now, or was that cut?
No, the mustache is gone. But the
Probably
mullet,
got a girlfriend or
the
something.
The mullet is going strong.
Really? Yeah.
So strong.
Maybe he didn't get a girlfriend then.
South Carolina takes over in the Georgia Tech turnover.
Is the sun down here on the sideline, guys? The sun is literally right at eye level, just
I was gonna
hitting
say,
players.
how's the weather down there on the sideline?
Okay, the breeze is died down from earlier, but nice and warm, and sun could be a factor, especially on the bench side, throwing to lefty attackmen are going to be.
Yeah, or those defensive cross-field passes.
For sure, the overs are going to be tough coming this way, coming towards us on the sideline.
Good settled opportunity for the Gamecocks. Pass across the crease. Shovel shot doesn't get through. See who wants it more. Loose ball push. It'll keep with South Carolina.
Guys, one of the interesting things about where this tournament falls in the school calendar is we actually have some players that are not here or showing up late because they're taking finals. And for South Carolina, one of their best players, Graham Lorber, is not here. He's finishing an exam, and then he's on a flight out. So hopefully South Carolina can win in advance and he can get back in the lineup.
Sean digging in against his defender, but Georgia Tech able to strip it away. Nice move by Andrew Yee. Helped cause the turnover. Look out, Greg. The ball come flying in near sideline.
I'm on the Georgia Tech side of this moment, so that one went aired to the Gamecock sideline. I was safe, but thanks for caring because I do have the sun right in my face here, so I can't see a lot.
Out for you. Big play right in front of us. Georgia Tech takes over. Griffin Goggins.
It's a great ride.
Yeah, turn that sideline into your extra defender.
Yep. Unsettled situation for the Yellow Jackets, but they couldn't handle the pass. McAvoy couldn't quite control that one. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Georgia Tech.
You know, on the offensive side, we talk about those overs being difficult, but if you get a good spot, you can use the sun to blind the goalie.
Right down that far side alley for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that far side is a nice place to shoot from. Get the lefties over there.
Let me tell you, I've said a lot of intelligent things today. This is, get ready. If the goalie can't see the ball, it's really hard for him to save it.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Jack McGinnis feeds it in. Skip pass couldn't be corralled. It's an over and back South Carolina will take. Quick restart. Unsettled situation. Extra pass, and South Carolina cashes in.
Unselfish.
Colin Lopez with his 21st goal of the season.
And Grant Schneider with the ground ball play to let the over and back happen. Obviously, the Georgia Tech defender was trying not to let it go. He had a lift check and then picked it up and played fast, which we know you love, Josh.
Yeah, the quick whistle. Love the quick whistle. I mean, you got to win the whistle. He did it there, scoops it up, and makes a great play in transition. I love the one more pass to the backside, too.
And I think we saw a championship step.
Yes,
we did.
There was.
Yeah.
Yep, right in front of the cage.
Get that top side.
Get there.
Charlie Toomeyism. from Josh Hawkins. Maybe by the end of this game, we'll get Josh to do his Charlie Toomey impression, the head coach of Loyola. Just a hint. It
you love that one.
Nothing
you
like
love that
Charlie
one,
Toomey.
Are you an impression guy? You got some other things?
No. Apparently it's a really bad impression.
It's
That's
terrible.
why Travis loves it.
Yellow Jackets take possession. Tied up at 1 early on in this opening round matchup. The last first round game here on field number 3. Georgia Tech working. Got the defense moving a little bit for South Carolina. Mason Hebert. Now Tim Peterson, shot low and it's saved.
Great save on that sunny side.
Unsettled situation if South Carolina wants to go. Instead, they settle things up. And they'll work some substitutions.
You might hear the South Carolina bench yelling 14. It's a 1-4-1 set.
South Carolina keeping possession after the save.
Josh, when you label your offense as something simple like that, like a 14, do you think that gives an advantage to the defense when they hear 14? They know that
and the
a 1-4-1 set is coming? I mean, or is it just one of those things where you're going to start in a set anyways and it really doesn't matter if the defense knows?
I think it can go both ways, but I think for sure, if I hear an offensive group yelling 14, I know 1-4-1's coming. I know that I'm probably going to be the shorty that's getting dodged up top. And, it gives you a little opportunity to set up in the defense that you want to be and know where your slides are coming from, especially in a 1-4-1. It's hard defensively to slide.
Right, so much space.
Right, and you usually have mumbos on both sides, and who are you sliding from? So establishing a slide guy based off of the offense yelling 14 can definitely help.
So what you're saying is if you call your 1-3-2 set 14,
yeah, you got to mix them up.
then you mix it up. Then the D is in trouble.
Yeah.
They think they know it. The old bait and switch. They think they know it's coming, and then boom,
yeah.
You hit them with a 1-3-2.
Oh yeah.
South Carolina working from behind the cage. Skip pass, back out top. Wines, fires, and scores.
How about that pass?
Yeah, great look.
Ryan Valen sniping top corner. Gamecocks have a 2-1 lead.
What was more impressive there, the pass or the catch in the sun?
Good point. I was going to say, I thought you were going to say the shot, and I was going to say definitely the pass because he had so much time and room, but you're right.
He had to find that ball in the sun a little bit.
Tough pass, tough catch.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech keeps possession after the face-off. Yellow Jackets looking to strike back. Tim Peterson going to work behind the cage. Skip pass out in front. Shot sails just a little wide. Jared Gantz.
Josh, what's your early impressions from both of these teams thus far?
I mean, both offenses are really slowing it down and trying to get in their sets and, run their 6-on-6 offense. It's not as fast as the last game we saw between Cal and Colorado, but I think it's going to come down to possessions. Who wins the face-off battle in this game? And
yeah, they both look comfortable playing this pace.
Right.
Good hustle play, and here come the Jackets. No numbers, and so they'll back things out. Got Peterson, Jack McGinnis in there as well. Here is Peterson off the skip pass, stinging the top corner.
Both teams with the skip pass across the defense being able to finish. Almost identical play.
You guys probably had a great view of that one.
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
Yeah, right over the goalie stick. Backside, wide open. I mean, that's the pass that you want the offense to make, right? I mean,
and that's the way you want them to shoot.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Goalie had zero
chance. Get better than that. Off the face-off. Nice win on the face-off for Andrew Yee, but the turnover quickly.
That pass there from the defender to the attackman. Throw that thing higher.
Yeah.
Don't even give the riding attackman a chance.
Diggin took a shot. Georgia Tech has the loose ball. But a little sloppy once again for the Yellow Jackets. Yeah, the South Carolina coaches, Josh, is saying, settle down. Just take a second, take a deep breath. First time for the Gamecocks in the national tournament.
Tell you what, they look good too.
They do. I mean, they are 16-1.
Josh, you talked through the uniform combos yet?
I was going to say, I really like and that's what I was talking about, Travis.
Not their play, the way they're dressed.
Oh, okay, well.
The white on white with the camo, camo letters.
The numbers are super difficult to see.
Yeah, the camo numbers, white buckets with the nice chrome decals. I like it.
I'm a big all white bucket guy.
Yeah, white
like really
white.
Clean, like really simple.
Mm-hmm.
Noah St. John back across the crease. No angle there.
Yeah.
He was actually behind the goal, I think, when he shot that one.
Mm-hmm.
He realized a little too late.
Georgia Tech with the classic yellow jacket tops.
Really tough angle again, but South Carolina there for the backup. For the rebound, I should say. Got Sean Diggin. Diggin wants to go. Hit as he shot. South Carolina still keeps possession. And that's going to be a crease violation. Georgia Tech ball.
Ooh.
Man.
That was a big hit.
Right in there to the chest.
It's the Georgia Tech players holding their shoulder.
Looks like his shoulder, yeah. Shaking his head. He knows it popped out or something.
Number one.
No penalty called on that.
Well, and, we talked about it, Greg. I mean, we talked about those hits, and it kind of seemed like a clean hit. Even though his head wasn't up because he wasn't looking. He was looking back to catch that pass, but that South Carolina player came in, put a shoulder in his chest.
And you know what I found is a lot of times when you see those big hits where guys get like decleated, a lot of times, in my opinion, those don't hurt as bad as when guys both hit and like nobody really goes down. It's like no one moves. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if you have the same opinion, but in my experience, that's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's like just meat on meat, and nobody's moving, and everything's hurting.
Physics.
We thought you were an English major.
Yeah. Not a math guy.
I dabbled in science.
You know, science is predominantly math.
Depends on which kind of science, guys, all right? If we're going to get technical.
Talking about Georgia Tech. Here come the Yellow Jackets, an unsettled situation. Under 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Hokies and Gamecocks, the 5-12 matchup in the Division I bracket here in the MCLA National Tournament. Winner of this one gets the Cal Golden Bears tomorrow.
They looked good in their game.
Knocking off the 4-seed Colorado.
Carolina, I need you guys to back up a little bit, please.
Seemed confident in the
very confident
press conference.
Got a chance to talk about that incredible save.
Georgia Tech's going to hold for one.
About 30 seconds left.
Yeah, the coach is yelling, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. You see him, the rest of the team saying, what's going on? What are you doing? We're not at 10 seconds yet. Stop initiating.
It's Adrian Franzone. Now at 15, and the over and back call. South Carolina going to quickly go with 10. Giles has a lane, but saves.
Wow. Dodged a bullet there.
Crombie makes the stop. And we're all even after one.
Big save from Crombie.
Yeah.
Crombie helps keep things even after 15 minutes here in the Division I final first round game of the day here on Field 3. Georgia Tech 2, South Carolina 2. We'll be back with the second quarter here at the 2018 MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour. Welcome back to Salt Lake City. We're live, getting ready for the second quarter between Georgia Tech and South Carolina. We're knotted up at 2 apiece in the 5-12 matchup here in the Division I side of the bracket. The winner of this one will go on and take on Cal in the quarterfinals tomorrow. The Golden Bears, of course, knocking off the Colorado Buffaloes in an upset just about an hour ago. And why don't we send it down to Greg, who has a special guest.
I'm here with Sky Deidelbaum, team manager for the South Carolina Gamecocks and future broadcasting specialist.
She's going to take your job.
She is going to take my job, that's for sure, but broadcasting major. We're going to get her thoughts on the first quarter of play.
Well, you know what? It's not our strongest quarter, but we have the face-off player of the year, and we don't have any face-off wins in that quarter, so hopefully we'll improve in this upcoming one and show them what we got.
How do you feel? The defense played pretty well there?
I think so, yeah.
Any adjustments you would make? Face-off, win some face-offs?
Absolutely win some face-offs, get those necessary ground balls, and get those clears.
That's it. Love that.
Good stuff, Greg. Really terrific stuff. James Harkey Head coach, she should just hire Sky as a full-time assistant because that was terrific stuff.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks for the stat.
Yeah, that was a good stat. No face-off wins. And there's another loss here to start this second quarter. Something to keep an eye on, Josh. She's doing better than you.
Well, I talked about it. I talked about the possessions. It was going to come down to who had more possession time.
Colin Haynes able to scoop up that errant passing goal. South Carolina going quickly in transition. An errant pass, and they're going to have a crease violation as well.
I think at halftime, let's just send Josh home and throw Sky in the booth.
Yeah, I think that's the right move. South Carolina keeping possession on the push into the crease. So Gamecocks setting up shop. And Greg, this sun angle is really unbearable.
It's tough. It's tough as a player. It's tough as a broadcaster.
Yeah, you guys are really pink. You guys are hurting.
It's tough. Yeah. I reapplied sunscreen too, so my wife will be happy about that, but I think I'm still fried.
Still sunburned.
It's the altitude. Remember the altitude factor.
Yeah.
Will Lansinger.
The sun is 50% more intense up here.
Is that true? There's a number for you. There's a math number.
I know. I don't know if it's true.
Well,
but it sounds right.
We like to work in facts in this business, Josh.
You can fact check me. You guys got phones.
Lansinger slings one. He gets it to go. Gamecocks have a lead back at 3-2.
Great dodge down the alley, puts it low and away.
And I think that all started with a face-off win for the Gamecocks, which Sky called for.
Yeah, it's true. First one of the game coming here in the second quarter, a couple of minutes in.
Again, seeing both offenses really settle in, though, and work for those shots.
I like that both these teams are very patient. If they're not getting anything, they continue to just run their sets and eventually know to wear the D down and something will open up.
Face-off win right back for Georgia Tech, though.
Yeah, and sometimes for facing off, it's more about styles and matchups than overall win percentages. You see it all the time where, one of the top face-off guys just struggles for some reason against one other player.
Yeah, you see that a lot. Sometimes it could be mental. Sometimes the other guy knows how to counter against you. I got a question for you, Greg.
Shoot.
In terms of the face-off, do you count a face-off win as just winning the ball for your team and then, say your team turns it over, you still count that as a face-off win?
I believe they still count that as a win. You get possession, that counts as a win whether you turn it over or not. So I think it's a face-off win and then a turnover.
But in terms of, did it matter, right?
Right. Right, because you see it all the time, right? You got a face-off guy that wins the ball and then throws it away, and essentially it's a loss.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they do consider it a win.
They definitely consider it a win, but should they?
Maybe you should have to get possession in the box or something like that.
Yeah.
That might be a more true stat of whether you're actually winning possession.
Right.
It's a good point.
So a man-up opportunity here.
Something else for me to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yellow Jackets going to work, looking to tie this game back up. Up a man.
Face-off wins that result in a goal.
It's a good stat. Get Moneyball Lacrosse on the line. Joe Keeks.
Right.
Great save.
Lost pass and saved away there. Haynes to stop, and we're back to even strength. Shot sails high. Thought it was interesting. I talked to Greg Cannella, the UMass head coach, earlier this year about face-offs, and he said, even if we don't win the face-offs, we consider it a win if we cause the other team to turn the ball over or get off a bad shot early on in a possession. So they can lose the face-off, lose the ground ball battle, but as long as they're not giving up a transition opportunity or a goal in that first possession, they consider it a win. And I thought that was a good way of looking at it, as you see Haynes come up with a nice save.
And UMass has had a great year.
Yeah, 11 straight.
Love to see it. That's my hometown.
I know, Amherst, Massachusetts.
They didn't recruit you?
No. Talked to them briefly, but...
Maybe they thought you sounded better in the booth.
They probably figured that I wanted to get out of town.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't want you.
That is also true. I was also a tackman in high school, fun fact. For all you non-believers out there.
If you played for me, I would have put you at midfield right away.
Yeah.
I've seen you run. I wouldn't let you play attack.
Physicality. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not really built for the attack position.
Shot and a score. Addison Lutz. Goal number 22 on the season for the junior. Gamecocks have their first 2-goal lead of the game.
Individual effort, getting top side. You talk about toughness.
Yeah, Lutz, I mean, low center of gravity, able to back his defender down a little bit, get inside. Those are tough as a defender.
Yeah, those are tough. The worst as a defender is, and you can vouch for this, is when you play good defense, you get scored on anyways. That's the worst.
Yeah. Was it really good defense, though?
No, I mean, that wasn't. He could have gotten lower, played like the physicality here.
Wow.
Guys competing for some ground balls.
Yep. They know what's on the line.
Yeah, no, that defense could have definitely been better. Sit lower. Don't give up the inside drive.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Georgia Tech gets the...
I was just speaking when I get scored on, it's always because the guy just made a great move. It was great defense. I've never played bad defense.
So Georgia Tech looking to respond here after a couple of South Carolina goals.
Looks like we're going to see an invert from Georgia Tech.
Good pressure out on these players from the South Carolina defense.
I was just thinking that, Travis. I like how their short six are getting out, getting in hands, and not letting the Georgia Tech middies just run straight at them.
Dodge shot just high.
And when you're on the back end of the defense, it's always easier to support if your teammate gets beat early rather than late, right? If you see that, hey, that guy's got a step, you can slide, you can recover. But if you're too soft and the guy gets beat, there's no time for you to react and help.
Goggins caught up behind the cage, knocked out.
Greg, I like to say die an early death if you have to.
Is that one? I think that one might actually be yours. Is that one yours?
I don't know. We'll say it is. Yeah, we'll say it is.
He forgot where he got all these sayings.
He's giving credit to Toomey for most of his sayings today. The coaching speak.
He's got a flag down. Almost a quick stick goal right in front there for Goggins.
You know what? That might be a Matt Dwan quote. Matt Dwan, defensive coordinator at Loyola.
Got a man-up opportunity here for the Yellow Jackets. Midway through the second quarter, down by 2 against the 5-seeded Gamecocks.
You know, we started the day, we talked about what a beautiful setting we have, and here is the day is coming to a close. And
Greg, it's beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. Surrounded by mountains everywhere we look.
And so what a special experience for these kids to be able to play here and experience.
Really cool. All out of bounds. Chance really for maybe a bunch of these East Coast kids come to Salt Lake City for the first time.
And I think one of the things that you lose sight of as a player when you're in the middle of it, you kind of don't realize the experiences you're having till after you graduate and you move on and you think back, wow, that was really cool where I got to play. And it's just some of the experiences I had because I was part of a lacrosse team.
Good opportunity here as the penalty's released, and we're going to get another one.
As the South Carolina bench wants to flop, saying he's flopping.
That's another one that's always tough for me, too. The push in the back right around the crease. You know, is that a dive or is that...
It's the hardest place to play defense, isn't it?
Yeah, it's...
What do? You ride the guy out? Even if you're on his back and you play, you don't push him. He still falls in the crease. They call it a push.
They call it a push because it looks like a push.
Yeah, what do you do?
Can't do much.
Probably dive anyway.
Like that was one there where the Georgia Tech player was definitely going to the rack.
Right.
Like he had no angle. If the defenseman doesn't touch him, he still falls in the crease. But because he's there, they get the push and a penalty.
Exactly.
Bring the dive. Bring the dive to college lacrosse. Bring it back.
Are you a dive fan?
Huge dive fan. Are you not?
No, I enjoy the dive. I got to get as close as I can to the net to score.
8 seconds left on the man up.
And that even includes diving into it.
Exactly.
South Carolina kills the penalty, gets possession. And now for the first time, and it seems like in a long time, South Carolina gets an offensive set.
Great defensive stance.
Liam O'Donnell going to work on the wing. He's got the short stick. Bounce shot is saved, kicked away by Georgia Tech.
We had a penalty.
We had a penalty. I missed the flag.
Yeah, I still don't see a flag on the field.
Oh, it's all the way on the far side.
It's the sun.
I was admitting.
Number 7, legal procedure, too many men. Technical 30, goal, number 7, legal procedure, 30.
Too many men call.
Griffin Goggins will serve it for Georgia Tech. So after back-to-back man-up opportunities for Georgia Tech, when empty, South Carolina gets an opportunity for 30 seconds. This could be
1-3-2 for South Carolina.
This could be a good momentum spot for the Gamecocks. They can go up by 3 after killing a couple of penalties. Pass across doesn't get through. Georgia Tech wants to go in transition. All the way to the rack, but ball got deflected.
I don't think that was the best decision to go to the rack there. Not a lot. Didn't beat his man.
So back and forth we go.
Yeah, that's a good opportunity to settle down if you're Georgia Tech, but they push it. Now it's back the other way.
Grant Snyder working at X. Now Will Lansinger.
Gamecocks changing personnel.
Tighter!
Lansinger, the extra pass too high. Out of bounds, Georgia Tech ball.
Too high, too hard, too close.
Yep.
Looked like he may have had an alley to shoot.
Obviously, South Carolina's got a 2-goal lead, but it feels pretty even. Got a timeout.
Georgia Tech wants to talk things over. About 5:20 to go in this second quarter. South Carolina holding on to a 4-2 lead. We'll step aside for a second. We'll be back with more second quarter action between South Carolina and Georgia Tech here at the MCLA National Tournament.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
Welcome back to the 2018 MCLA National Tournament powered by Under Armour. Georgia Tech and South Carolina rounding out the day here on Field 3. The 5-12 matchup in Division 1. The winner of this one will play the 13-seeded Cal Golden Bears. Cal knocking off Colorado earlier on today to earn a spot in the quarterfinals. They'll play the winner of this game coming up tomorrow here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Travis Eldridge, Josh Hawkins, Greg Bice roaming the sidelines, and Greg was just listening in on this Georgia Tech huddle. What are the Yellow Jackets trying to do to try to work their way back into this game?
The message was very clear. Don't force it. Take your time. Play their offense. Stop taking low-angled shots and work for those high-quality opportunities. Said the sets look good. They're going to get assisted goals, but just don't get too sped up by the South Carolina defense.
Yeah, I like to see Georgia Tech get into the front of the cage. Dodge towards the middle.
It's exactly what their coach said.
They're doing a lot
he said
of
get to the middle.
Yeah, get to the middle.
And you know what I love about these coaches? We've been in a lot of huddles today. Is the coaches are putting in sets for man-to-man defense and sets against zone.
That's impressive.
So yeah, preparing their team for both, to see both.
Peterson. Callaghan.
That's the look they want.
Of course, a timeout is a good time for a defense to put in a zone or a little wrinkle.
Right, because you assume they're taking the timeout to try and beat what they're currently seeing. Come out, you throw something different. They're not ready to scheme.
Almost a steal away by South Carolina.
Are you a big scheme guy, Josh? Getting in and out, throwing a lot of different looks, or you like to keep it simple?
We had some decent schemes at in college. Now in the pros it's simple. It's slide and recover when you can. But I like the schemes. I mean, we had zones when the ball went out of bounds in the back end line. We had a zone when a shorty was bringing back behind the goal for an invert. When I was coaching at Amherst College, we had a lot of different slide schemes. How are we sliding? Are we sliding early? Are we sliding fast? Are we switching the slide?
Tell you what, I don't even blame South Carolina on that last one because I can't even see the sideline here with this sun angle. It ran out of bounds. Good chance for Georgia Tech.
You know what the best defense is? If you don't get beat, you never actually have to slide. You don't have to even worry about help defense. You ever think about it? You don't need any packages.
Yeah, you just never get beat.
McAvoy wrapping, dishes out top. That pass, the shot never quite got through, but Georgia Tech still maintains possession.
It's a real long possession.
Feet in front. Oh, that would have been gorgeous. Instead,
great idea.
It's Haynes who comes up with it in goal.
That was a really long possession for the Yellow Jackets.
Just nothing to show for it.
Broken shaft for the Gamecocks defenseman.
Well, there's something then to show for it.
I hope he has another shaft.
How many shafts you go through a season?
Oh, man, I've gone through 3 already. It's 4 games.
Yeah, I was going to peg you as a shaft a game kind of guy.
They bend. It's a cross check. That's all I got.
That's all you need. South Carolina's thrown the ball away their past couple possessions.
Jump shot stings the top corner. What a finish, South Carolina, with a 3-goal lead. It's Addison Lutz.
What a shot. Drive hard with your left and stick it backside. Jump shot, lefty. Got some power on that.
Tough angle, too.
Win your matchup, get to upside, and bury.
Yeah.
That's lacrosse.
Yep.
So 2 minutes before the half, South Carolina enjoying its largest lead of the game at 3. How important is it for Georgia Tech to get something going here offensively before the half?
I think it's very important, you know. They haven't really gotten to the middle like their coach has asked them to since the last time out. So you want to see these guys respond, start showing some good looks on offense.
And they've had tons of possession time. They just haven't been able to find the back of the net.
Right.
They're not turning over. They're just not generating those high-quality shots. They're getting shots. They're just not able to finish.
Right.
Got a whistle, and South Carolina will pause it. About a minute 37 to go in this second quarter. We'll step aside for just a second. We'll be back with the end of the second quarter. Here you're watching the MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
Travis Eldridge, Josh Hawkins, Greg Bice back with you here on the 2018 MCLA National Tournament, powered by Under Armour. 5-12 matchup, finishing out day 1 here in Salt Lake City, Utah. South Carolina has really found its groove a little bit offensively here down the stretch, enjoying its largest lead of the game at 3, up 5-2 on the 12-seeded Georgia Tech. Greg Bice listening into that Gamecocks huddle. What are they looking to do in this last minute 30, already up 3 goals?
That was a situational timeout. They're not looking for anything different than what they've been getting, but it was a, hey, guys, we take a deep breath, get some water, realize the clock. We're at 1:37. Let's make sure we take some shots here. We generate. We make sure we back it up. We want to value this possession. Look where we are. Let's not turn it over and let Georgia Tech get a transition goal.
So South Carolina, I mean, for all intents and purposes, could hold almost for this last shot. They play it correctly.
Couple possession shots.
Yeah.
That's your specialty, Josh. Maybe they can got an extra uniform they can throw you in. Let you miss the cage a couple times.
He doesn't try to miss the cage, though. It just happens that way.
Hey, it's good acting.
You see, they're still spinning it. Just milking some clock.
St. John lost his footing for a second.
Second time out there.
And another
I like
timeout
that.
for South Carolina, under a minute to go. And now, Greg, they certainly can hold for the last shot.
Definitely.
Josh, if you're on the defensive end, one of the things that I would coach if it were me is put pressure on them. But you know they're going to try and hold for a last shot. Why not take some chances and push out and try and cause a turnover and get yourself an extra possession, knowing that they're not going to go to the cage?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good tactic to pressure the ball and get out. I think sometimes that pressure can create offense, and you press out, and then you get that one. That one defender that gets run by because he, slips or he's, a little too over-aggressive. Right. I think at this point you're still in the game, right? You're only down 3 heading into the half. Play solid D.
So I guess this is more of a personnel strategy, right? Let's say you got a great on-ball takeaway defenseman that can run with somebody. You put him on ball, you push out. If he gets run by, then everybody just kind of drops in and you play it out.
Yeah. Hey, I'm all for aggressive, too. If you want to double the ball, go for it.
Let's take the goalie out of the cage.
Really make things interesting. So South Carolina, chance to go into this half up by no less than 3.
And I think more importantly, that timeout called there keeps the shot clock off.
Yeah.
Because they still haven't shot it in this possession, which started at 1:37.
And I don't like that, Greg. Why is that? Why should that timeout kind of reset what has already happened in that offensive end?
Noah St. John couldn't find
I'm not sure that it actually does. I think the refs
like
just forget.
Right. It's like it kind of gives them a reset. There's no
It's like a mental, it's a mental, the game stopped and we just restarted again. There must be a fresh shot clock.
Right.
You know what? Just get a shot clock, a standard shot clock, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Ooh.
What do you mean? That's crazy talk.
Going down that thing again. We got another Georgia Tech. We got another timeout, this time on the Georgia Tech side of things. We've got 11 seconds left in this second quarter. So, Josh, realistically, what can you get done in 11 seconds with the ball around midfield?
You can get a lot done. You can get a lot done, Travis. I mean, you could set up a play right now where I'm assuming they're going to get a dodger from up top and, you know, maybe some mumbo action, maybe a 1-4. I'd get into one of those 1-4-1 sets and you know, mumbo and get a hard dodge. That creates a lot of space in the middle of the field. That's where they're trying to get as shooters. Why not change it up? They've been in that kind of 2-3-1 set, 1-3-2, whatever you want to say. I think, you know, kind of open up the field a little bit. Let your best dodger go at them.
All right, you ready for this?
What do you got, Greg?
Got a pass down, pick down. I'm not sure what the set is, what formation, but they're going to go right away, obviously, with only 11 seconds left.
Oh, I like it.
So look for that, yeah.
The old Petey.
The old pass down, pick down.
Yep.
Seen a lot more of that. When I started playing years ago, the general rule was you never brought a pick to the ball carrier.
Right.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, yeah.
And now everybody, it's pick on ball, off ball.
Mm-hmm.
Picks everywhere.
Big fan of the Petey in transition.
Here it comes.
Get to the middle. That's what they want.
And couldn't complete the pass. Brings us to the end of the first half. South Carolina with a 3-goal advantage. The 5-seeded Gamecocks in their first trip to the national tournament. Looking good through 30 minutes. We'll be back with the second half here between South Carolina and Georgia Tech. You're watching the 2018 MCLA National Tournament powered by Under Armour.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid?
See ya!
Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Meso, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black, it's pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Meso Composite, balanced, battle tested. My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
I'm Eric Law. I went to the University of Denver and I played professional lacrosse for the Denver Outlaws. This is the UA Command 2.0. I really like the new design of the thinner scoop at the top to help with ground balls and the same thing in the back with the flare to help with ground balls as well. The pocket, it forms just a nice, easy pocket right in the middle. I also love how light it is. We've been in the sun all day. It still doesn't get that soupy, bendy feeling. Also, what I really like the new addition of is the side rail pockets for the shooters, which doesn't go right in there, which I think is a brilliant design.
I'm Greg Gorenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. First thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough and can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Face-Off Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
Life is about moments.
If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid?
See ya!
Right at it, right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
Welcome back live to Salt Lake City, Utah. The 2018 MCLA National Tournament powered by Under Armour. A good one here in our final game of the day on Field 3. The 5th-seeded South Carolina Gamecocks with a 5-2 lead over the 12-seeded Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. The Gamecocks in their first ever appearance in the national tournament. And looking good so far. The winner of this game will move on to play Cal in the quarterfinal round here in Salt Lake City tomorrow. The Golden Bears knocking off 4-seeded Colorado earlier on in the afternoon. Travis Eldridge, Josh Hawkins, Greg Bice, a former MLL player and a current Denver Outlaw joining me here in the booth and on the sideline. Greg, you could still lace them up, right?
I could, yeah.
Just you choose not to.
Well, let me say this. I think I could. But,
sure could.
Had some kids and priorities changed.
Yeah, all that.
You know what the schedule's like, Josh. Once you hit summer and, you're on the road and.
Crazy.
Guys sacrifice a lot to play in that league.
Yep.
So Georgia Tech able to come up with a loose ball off the face-off. And the Yellow Jackets get the first offensive set of this second half. The lights starting to come on here in Salt Lake City as the sun starts to set. Just a absolutely perfect afternoon for lacrosse, really all day.
Josh, you got some years left in those legs.
Yeah, I got a couple left in me. It's tough being a D-midi, though. It's hard.
Just tell them to convert you.
Play a little more two-way. Georgia Tech.
Wow. Oh, the backhand shot couldn't quite go.
Georgia Tech 8 for 9 at the face-off X in the first half.
That bodes well for them, obviously, here.
Yeah.
Haynes with a good save here for South Carolina to kick things off.
On the flip side, it shows how well the South Carolina defense has been playing.
I was going to say, hats off to the South Carolina defense for, only allowing 5 goals. Sun is going down right above the mountains now, and perfectly in our view of the side of the field.
Super convenient.
I'll tell you what, we might not be able to see the game, but we're going to see a beautiful sunset.
Oh, they have the game in the little substitution game, and they capitalize. South Carolina, Will Lansinger, the senior, puts the Gamecocks up by 4.
A little confusion in the subbing game, and a nice low-to-low shot. He gets open.
The worms have been burned.
Ooh, the worm burner.
The worm burner.
It looks like they were shutting off one of the South Carolina players, and they played the old switcheroo game, and Georgia Tech not able to react quick enough. We talked about shutting things off. That's one way to beat it.
Sweet juke moves.
Yeah.
Get open.
Athleticism.
Athletic, being faster and stronger than the guy trying to lock you off. That's usually a good strategy.
And
we got to win.
Carolina gets a face-off.
There they go. It's their second one.
If they start winning face-offs, this could get out of hand in a hurry.
Remember, these two teams are actually from the same conference, both from the SELC, but since they didn't play during the regular season, eligible to play each other in the national tournament.
I think that's a great rule that they have for this tournament, that you cannot play a team that you played earlier in the year.
In the first round.
In the first round, well, of course,
You can't prevent all of them, but in the first round, it certainly makes sense.
Thanks, Travis. Clearing that up.
And we got a player down for South Carolina here.
He's up.
He's
okay.
back up.
But yeah, when you look at Division I lacrosse and you see rematches and things like that in the first round, you're like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Play somebody else. Play somebody new and see how they're going to do.
Skip pass off the post.
Of course, Selection Sunday was yesterday.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, man. I was thinking, how did only 2 Big Ten teams get in?
Yeah.
Sorry about your Buckeyes.
Oh, man. Well, at least put Rutgers in, you know?
They've had a tough go the last few years.
Every year, man.
Right there.
They've been
right
first
there.
one out last 3 years, it seems like.
Yep.
Georgia Tech looking to get back in this thing. Down 4 now early in the third quarter.
And a good hustle play by the Georgia Tech defense to run that shot out.
The lights are now turning on.
Georgia Tech wants an offsides call, and South Carolina actually didn't have enough guys on their side of the field.
I'm standing right here on the sideline, and it didn't appear that they were off.
I also see you down there on the sideline getting some nice sunset pics.
I might have taken one and sent it to my wife.
Shot to score.
You're a romantic.
I definitely am. Well, that's a huge goal for the Yellow Jackets.
And they've been successful when they get to the middle.
Adrian Franzone gets the goal, the senior. And he's got Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jackets team, back within 3. And the Yellow Jackets continue their success at the face-off X.
And for South Carolina, they won the clamp there. He won the clamp, just got pushed off the ball, and Georgia Tech gets it.
Yeah, the counter there was fantastic from Georgia Tech. Just lifted, basically hang cleaned him off the ball, and then was able to pick it up. It's an Olympic lifting movement. Hang clean.
Turnover for Georgia Tech, gives it back to South Carolina. The face-off guy there for the Yellow Jackets, Andrew Yee, does a little bit of everything. He's got 9 points, takes face-offs. I think we've seen him play some defensive midfield as well.
It's all over the place.
You've seen his athleticism really show.
Yeah.
At the face-off X, and then his ability to throw counter moves and pick up loose balls.
Georgia Tech trying to go quickly, and Ends up in another turnover. End-to-end action. Back and forth we go.
Josh, we've seen a lot of games today, and obviously there's a lot of different coaching styles out there. Is there a certain type of coach that you feel like you gets the best out of you? Is it a yeller? Is it a guy that gets in your face? Or is it somebody who's more laid back? And
I think you need a balance, right? You need a coaching staff that, balances each other out, in the war room, but then, on the field can balance, those relationships with the players and the captains. So, I've always been on teams where you've had your kind of your disciplinary type coach, and then, the one that'll lighten the mood on the sideline. I think you got to have a good mix.
That's a great point. You personally, are you the kind of guy, you're having a bad day, you need me to come put my arm around you, or do you need me to get in your face and light you up a little bit?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't need to. Yeah, I don't need to be babied or, need to be yelled at. I'd say emotionally, I'm pretty stable.
Well, here's the other thing. You're obviously one of the best players in the game. You're a professional athlete. You don't need anybody to motivate. You don't need a coach to tell you you're playing bad and to light you up a little bit. You have that self-awareness and that ability to get the best out of yourself. That's why you're a professional and one of the best in the game.
Well, it's tough these days to get competitiveness out of young players. I know you probably see that a lot as a coach.
Mm-hmm. And it's something you can't coach, right? Either players want to compete and get after it. And you never know, right? Sometimes you have a kid that you've worked with for years and just for some reason has got all the skills and just is competitive. And then one day they come in and they want to compete. So I found a big confidence boost for kids is kids that finally start lifting weights and get in the weight room. It's a big part of being an athlete.
Yeah.
So South Carolina looking to continue to add on to this lead, up by 3. One thing to note about this Gamecocks team.
Whoa.
What a save by Crombie.
And South Carolina keeps trying to feed. They're trying to hit the crease. It's not there. Fortuitous bounce to the South Carolina attackman. But better save.
Yeah, great save.
Terrific.
Just matches sticks there and just stuffs the ball. Great save by Crombie.
Here comes Georgia Tech.
Sun's starting to disappear behind those mountains now.
That's the picture I needed.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling me out, by the way. I needed that. That's what I needed.
Mason Hebert.
Well, that's the other part of it, too. The other dynamic is, the players keeping each other accountable.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best teams, the coaches don't need to hold their players accountable. The captains do, and the leaders and the senior leadership. You're right.
Right.
I think you see it a lot, especially in colleges, no matter what level the college game, the senior classes. How many of the seniors legit buy in and go, you know what, we want to go out winning? And how much of them go, once there are a couple losses, you know what, let's enjoy our senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Nice save there.
I could tell you want to enjoy your senior year, buy in and win games.
Well, right, exactly. But that's the attitude difference that some people have.
You want to be playing in May.
Spoken like a true coach.
Play in May. Well, that's the thing I always say, too. If you're not bought into something, why are you even doing it?
Right.
And when you look at these teams, I love this. We talked about what it takes for these guys to get here.
They're bought in.
And they're bought in, right?
Yeah.
They're here. They're spending money. They're working hard to get on planes, and they're taking finals, and they're here, and they're committed. They want to win, and that's what you want.
It's awesome. Good hustle here by Georgia Tech. Could be a big opportunity here for the Yellow Jackets. Cut this game back to a 2-goal game.
They're not getting a lot right now out of this set.
I mean, both defenses are playing well. Crombie on the other end is making some saves for Georgia Tech. And
save there by Haynes. South Carolina scoops it up. In talking about this South Carolina team, they ran the table almost through the entire regular season, 16-0. You get to your conference championship game. They lose to Virginia Tech. The only time, their lowest goal-scoring total of the entire season, scoring just 7 goals. So you come into your first ever national tournament coming off of that. I think it's interesting to watch how they've reacted here tonight.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need, one loss to get you refocused, get you back on the horse again.
And it takes the pressure off of trying to have a perfect season.
Yeah.
You get it out of the way
Yep.
in the regular season, and then play a little bit looser in the playoffs, knowing that there's not that additional pressure of trying to have a perfect run.
Absolutely.
The other thing that's been impressive, we've got some nice crowds here.
Yes.
Yeah, great crowds. Utah, obviously, well represented.
BYU
right now has a big crowd on another field.
I mean, this location for this tournament is just so cool here in day one. It's a tough angle shot falling away.
The feed inside once again.
Been looking for that.
Another really patient possession here by South Carolina.
Have we seen a timer?
No.
No.
Nope. Great D by the short stick.
There's some D
and the loose ball.
Gotta love that.
Jared Gant, the short stick defensive midfielder for Georgia Tech, making the play.
That feels good as a D midi.
Yeah, your eyes lit up when that when that happened. And I'll tell you what, how about the sideline coming off and feeding off of that play? Whenever a defensive midfielder is able to create a turnover, a team loves that because it's so rare these days.
That 5 seconds, that's what we live for.
That's it.
Right there.
It's that D-midi life.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the same motion that we've seen the entire game out of Georgia Tech. I wonder if they got a different offensive package, different formation. The pass down, pick down we've seen with the sweep over the top.
Yeah, they're in this 1-4 with that.
Here it comes.
Yep.
Maybe just mix it up and give the Gamecocks a different look.
Yeah, they've done a good job of switching on those picks
Good
and
chance.
Preventing those sweeps.
I'm a huge believer in all picks, just heavy jump switch and take away the top side.
I agree. I mean, when you switch and you're not worrying about your matchups, I mean, you obviously trust, the guys around you.
Gamecocks going end to end. Colin Lopez, the senior, back to a 4-goal South Carolina lead.
Starts with a stop on defense, quick outlet, transition, great feed.
Little conversation there between Crombie and the goal scorer.
Was there some extracurriculars going on?
It seemed friendly. It seemed like they were talking about the shot. And it seemed friendly. It seemed like they were smiling.
I think it rattles guys a lot
when you're nice.
Yeah, and you're like, man, you know what? That was a good move.
That was really pretty.
That was a good
work.
shot.
Yeah.
And I think as a player, I think for me, I think I would always try and recognize, like, sometimes guys just make great moves and beat you.
Yep.
And I'd say, hey, man, good move. But I would think next time, the next one's mine, right? Short, next one's mine.
Yeah. Joe Fletcher.
See one of those? He's going to hit you.
He'll hit you, yeah.
You're gonna work for it.
Yep. He'll take the ball from you, too.
Give credit where credit is due.
Yeah. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. South Carolina a 4-goal lead. Looking to punch its ticket to its first ever quarterfinal in the MCLA National Tournament.
Josh, let's finish that conversation on because we see so many picks, and I'm a huge fan of the jump switch. And, you know, if they get a matchup they like, then just slide early.
Right.
But I think a lot of times you see guys trying to fight over and under picks, and you got the goal line picks. And
if you make it too complicated, you're going to make mistakes. You know, you're going to have guys not communicate right. You know, guys not follow that communication, you know, through that pick, and you're going to get mismatches. You're going to get two guys going to one. I agree. Keeping it simple on the picks is
right, because then sometimes like you have matchups, right? A lot of coaches will do if this guy sets a pick, then you do this, and you're thinking too much rather than just playing.
And if he sets a pick here, this is what we're doing. If the pick is set over there, this is what we're doing.
Right. I'm with you on that. Keep it simple. Back to Kiss.
Another chance from downtown. Lansinger again.
How about that release? I swore he was shooting that thing high.
Yeah, brought it down low, snapped the wrists. Towson product.
Oh, yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
From Towson to South Carolina.
And you mentioned it earlier, a lot of these guys
South Carolina.
From New York, from Maryland.
Either of you gentlemen been to Columbia, South Carolina?
Have not.
My little brother just moved there.
It's a great place.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Heard good things. Georgia Tech gets a possession, down by 5. Under 30 seconds in this third quarter. See if they can.
They need one here, 20 seconds.
Manageable. 5 goals with the pace that this game has been played. It's going to be a tough amount to come back.
It's a good point.
South Carolina, back up, please.
Georgia Tech scoops it up. 2 seconds. Brings us to the end of the third quarter. South Carolina really finding its groove there in the third. The Gamecocks 15 minutes away from a quarterfinal date with the Cal Golden Bears. We'll bring you the fourth quarter when we come back. You're watching the 2018 MCLA National Tournament powered by Under Armour. The sun setting here in Salt Lake City, Utah. The final game of the day here on Field 3. The final games here at this complex going down to the 2018 MCLA National Tournament Day 1. This is a Division I matchup. The first round, 5-12 game between South Carolina and Georgia Tech. The 5 seed taking care of the 12 seed so far. The Gamecocks with a 5-goal lead entering the final 15 minutes. Travis Eldridge, the current Denver Outlaw, Josh Hawkins, former MLL player, former Ohio State Buckeye Greg Bice, roaming the sidelines. Happy to have you with us here for the final 15 minutes of a long day of lacrosse here in Salt Lake City, but a gorgeous one, and this is a nice way to put a cap on it.
I've had a lot of fun today with you guys.
Equal. Is that equally?
Equally.
Equally.
It has been fun, guys, and we've seen some great lacrosse.
Yeah, great
Maybe
lacrosse.
Still some to play here.
Beautiful setting, good company. Doesn't get any better than this. I should have reapplied sunscreen a couple more times. That's my only regret.
And you can see, just how beautiful this field is. The grass is, well kept, and you haven't seen guys slipping around. I remember watching the MCLA tournament last year in California, and they're slipping in the mud. It was a little wet, and some of the fields just weren't the best playing surface. But man, they've had got great fields,
high for
great
South
fields
Carolina.
here.
And the main field will be used for the semifinals and the championship game coming up later this week. Pass sails high. See if Georgia Tech can make a play on it.
Oh.
Lost a stick.
The tiptoe act.
Nice play. He wants it, and he gets it!
Woo!
Man.
That's a great play.
The one-man show. Alex Rem.
You think that's one there where after he made the tiptoe and had a little space, he said, I'm going right to the rack?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that release, too.
Look off the guy. It's open in the middle. And
call your own number.
Snipe it, top cheese.
Hey, guys,
I'll tell you what, when you deliver.
This one.
Yeah. Hey, as long as you deliver.
Yeah.
That shot, we had a great angle. Just absolute heat.
Tucked right under the bar.
Yeah.
On the run.
South Carolina face-off win. Those have been rare for them today, but they've figured out how to put the ball in the back of the net.
They really have. And we've got a whistle timeout for South Carolina. They are enjoying a 6-goal advantage 13 minutes ago in this fourth quarter. For Georgia Tech, Josh, what are they trying to draw up here? Because they've had face-off success. They've had the ball at times for extended periods against the South Carolina defense.
Yeah.
They just haven't found a way to solve it.
For me, man, I go right to the body language right now. I think just watching Georgia Tech walk off the field to this timeout and kind of how everyone's hanging their heads in the huddles right now, I go to their body language, correct their body language and their mentality. I mean, there's 13 minutes left. You're down 6.
Still time.
There's time. I mean, you mentioned at which the pace of the game has gone and how, they haven't been scoring, but I mean, they have time. I think if you correct the body language and believe, something can happen.
Greg, you were over there in the South Carolina huddle. What do you got?
Yeah, my favorite part of being over there was when the coach brought in the offensive unit, he asked the guys what they wanted to run.
Love it.
I love that as a player and as a coach, your team. So they called their own set, said spin it a couple times, and let's keep putting them in the back of the net, realizing there's a lot of time left. It's too early to try and stall this thing out. So what do you guys want to run? What do you feel comfortable in? Let's do it.
I love that. I call that coaching with instead of coaching at. You have a lot of coaches that coach at players, but I like to see that coaching with the players.
Well, you just have to think they're going to be so much more interested in making it work when they have a vested interest in it.
How about just the nightcap, the ender here, and Hawkins still just dropping nuggets on us.
Right?
I've learned a lot. From being on the sideline with you.
Andrew Yee, once again, that face-off guy, defensive midfielder. He's got 9 points on the year. A little bit of everything for this Georgia Tech team. Make the play to get it across midfield.
He's an absolute grinder.
Yeah.
And you can get away. You can win a lot of matchups just by being tougher than the guy across the line from you. You don't have to be as pretty. You don't have to be as slick. But if you're tough, you can win some matchups, and he's been doing that all day.
And that kind of goes back to what I was saying, the body language, and feeling positive and confident. I think can go a long way, especially in situations like this. You're down.
Saw it the whole way, did Colin Haynes. stared it down and makes the save.
Things don't feel like you're going your way. Stay positive, correct that body language, and figure it out.
Got a rogue lacrosse ball on the field. I don't know if that came from the Boston College game going on behind us or what. But
I'm not sure.
I don't see any little kids running around or trying to hide.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
I'll tell you what, that's a great coaching trick there.
Just
throw one on. They have to stop play. You get your guys on. Get your sets in.
Yeah.
My favorite is the dog on the field.
Let the dog loose.
You play high school games where that's happened? Yeah.
Chase around the dog.
Yeah. Pure entertainment.
Yep. I feel like they know what they're doing in those situations, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they know.
Oh, they do.
They 100% know. See if Remy can do it again.
You thought about it.
South Carolina chance, some numbers, but
great back check.
Mm-hmm.
Nice play.
You know, these Georgia Tech players are showing a lot of grit and determination and hustle.
Here they come. Backup stays to the Yellow Jackets. That was a heads-up backup there by South Carolina. Anticipated the play, gets possession back.
Yeah, great hustle play. Those are the ones that, don't show up on the stat sheet, but a run out like that, that's just as good as a face-off win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or cause turnover.
Yeah,
yep.
Exactly.
And the best part of a defender doing that is it's demoralizing the offense because they're supposed to be back there.
Right. You get another attackman yelling at the one attackman that's supposed to be back there.
And then the coach is yelling at the attackman, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Back up the shots. That was my coach yelling impersonation. Can we hear your Toomey now?
Yeah, can we get can we get Toomey? Come on.
Go get the ball, Hawkins. Go get it.
For anyone who's never heard Loyola head coach Charlie Toomey speak, he sounds nothing like that.
Oh,
man.
Hey, if you're Georgia Tech here, you got to start to press, right?
Yep.
You got to get something
and
going here.
We've seen it from them. A little early offense, pushing the pace a little bit more.
Great check.
Trying to get to Cage, but
Alex Wenzel, the play, getting into the offensive zone for South Carolina.
South Carolina's going to take their time on offense now.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen in shot clocks.
No, make the refs.
Yeah.
Make you go to the cage.
Eat up 2 minutes if you really wanted to.
As you should.
Yeah.
Well, the way your defense has been playing, just limit their amount of possessions on the offensive end.
Lansinger sends it behind, but nice play by Crombie coming out of his crease to make the stop.
Crombie's looked really good for them today.
Especially for a guy, we didn't expect to start.
He's been making huge saves, plays like that, just keeping that defense in check. Just haven't gotten a lot of help from the offense.
Yeah, and right now, throw one pass, clear space, and go.
Down 6, under 8 minutes to go.
See, now they're subbing, and
great look.
That was
that
really
was
good look.
A very difficult
Griffin
pass.
Goggins was frustrated because he knew he had Jack McGinnis on that backside. Just couldn't quite complete that pass. Easy clear here for South Carolina. Noah St. John. And once again, a chance for the Gamecocks to kill some time.
Hey, try to match!
Yeah, they're going to spin it. Although they tried to throw a difficult pass last time and got picked off.
Yeah. Spinny, right, Josh? Spin it for short.
14 Spinny.
For South Carolina.
Yeah, push the pace.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of fakes, couldn't get the shot.
Good recovery
off,
from the South Carolina defenseman.
And he draws the flag, but you take the man-up opportunity over a goal, right?
You mean other way? You take the goal over a man-up opportunity.
You will, if you're South Carolina, if you're that defender, you.
Oh yes, correct. Yes,
Absolutely.
correct. That's a good penalty. Yes. Sorry, I didn't understand what you were saying there, Travis. You're correct. I'm wrong once again. Is that what you wanted to hear? Rest easy tonight.
I think you're both right.
No, it's just some miscommunication. Like I said,
for Georgia Tech, you do want the goal.
A couple of terrific analysts can carry some mediocre play-by-play, and there's a goal.
There it is.
They cash in. Conrad McAvoy finally get Georgia Tech back on the board. Makes it a 5-goal game. Now we go back to the face-off X, see if the Yellow Jackets can string a couple together.
You know, one of the things I've noticed is Georgia Tech got a couple guys that, the sidelines fired up there trying to get the guys going. All these teams have a great hype guy. You know, it's like one guy. You have it on all teams. Some guy.
Carolina's got a guy over here with a gold chain on.
Yep. Supposedly he's got all kinds of celebrations.
Did we clarify, is it the turnover chain?
We don't know what it is, but it's similar in size.
Just without the giant U at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got a guy. Oh,
man. Big collision.
Good job at the attack to work for that ball.
Georgia Tech trying to double the ball here. Do a good job, get it on the ground.
Oh, man.
Right there. I was just about to give a compliment about how he dropped the ball, but he fought hard to get it back and then throws it away.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you look at the offensive set and some of the chances, the turnovers they've caught. Georgia Tech defensively it seems to have played well. They've done well in the face-off game. They just haven't found ways to cash in.
Mm-hmm. And that's tough when your defense is playing well and your offense isn't. It's can be a long day, and it's kind of how it's felt for Georgia Tech.
Under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. South Carolina holding on to a 5-goal lead here in Salt Lake City. The opening round here in Division I, the 5-12 matchup winner of this game will move on to play the Cal Golden Bears, who knocked off the 4-seeded Buffaloes from Colorado earlier on today.
Josh, if this game holds and we get South Carolina versus Cal, which way are you leaning?
That's good.
Based on what you've seen today.
I think it's going to be a really good game. Both teams, I feel like, are peaking right now. Talking to Cal's coaches and players at the end of the game, I mean, they're really confident where they're at. South Carolina, obviously, playing really well, putting up 9 goals on a really good Georgia Tech defense. So
and haven't done so without winning faceoffs.
Exactly. So I think it's going to be a great matchup. Right now, I kind of lean towards Cal, honestly, just because of I think their ability to kind of be able to play and match what other teams are doing. I also like Cal's ability to adjust. I feel like they made great adjustments throughout their game and helped them lead to a win.
Georgia Tech takes a timeout. Greg, where do you lean?
I was going to go with South Carolina. So I think that what they've been able to do and how they've played on both sides of the ball without winning faceoffs, knowing that they have a stud at the faceoff X, I think if they can win a couple more draws, but like you said, I expect it to be a good game, and California is playing at a very high level. They look great against a very good Colorado team. It's a huge win. So it's we should be in good for a good one, assuming this score holds.
Of course, those quarterfinals coming your way here tomorrow from Salt Lake City. Teams that get to the semifinals will then have a day off before Thursday's semifinals and then a Saturday championship game. So you got to get through those first 2 days here at the MCLA National Tournament. And then you get some rest. So it's maybe something to think about if you're South Carolina, up by 5, 4 minutes to go. Not that 4 minutes for any of these kids is a ton of time to rest, but you want to make sure your team is healthy heading into the quarterfinals tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. Got to get the liquids in you. Got to stretch, got to recover. Recommend if there's a pool at the hotel to jump in the pool. That always helps.
Yeah, rejuvenate the legs a little bit.
Yep.
You're like a 10-year-old. Got to jump in the pool, eat some pizza, play some Fortnite, call it a night.
Well, I mean, what do you think these kids are going to be doing when they get back to the hotel? Oh, man. Look at this guy. Addison Lutz, not only has have a couple goals, that was terrific effort.
Empty net.
And South Carolina. Oh.
This is the empty net.
Couldn't help himself. Jacob Ellis 1-1. But it's an okay shot because there's a backup. Another shot at the empty net. Missed.
Another backup.
Georgia Tech wants a timeout. I don't think the refs. There it is. It's the second time today we've had a situation where people just didn't.
I think that might have been a little bit of the game frustration carrying over to the fact that they were screaming timeout very loudly, I think, for extended periods of time without getting the call.
I want to say both situations, too, where the refs didn't hear that. The team was calling for a timeout in their defensive end.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's more out of the ordinary.
Yeah, so they're not paying attention to it. They might think it's, the field across from us over here. Look at me, trying to support the refs.
I know. That's not like you. You've changed. You know what it is? That's a sign of maturity.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you what, it's a big part of the game, and one of the things that we have, I'm in Ohio, and not a traditional hotbed, but we have a ref shortage in our high school, and just it's a hard thing to do to be a ref, knowing that, one, you got to please the coaches, but two, the parents and the sidelines can be brutal, right?
Especially at the high school level now, and in the club circuit.
Yeah.
So give these guys a ton of credit for officiating and doing a great job. I think the officiating's been fantastic all day.
Yeah.
Oh, and Josh, I mean, I saw you talking to a couple of the guys that have come up. These are guys that they're not just based here in Utah. They're guys that have come in for this tournament specifically.
Yep. Guys that I've seen ref in a lot of different places.
There's some MLL refs here, isn't there?
Yep, some MLL refs. Southern California. Some MLL guys, some college guys.
Here comes the double team out of the timeout, which we obviously expected.
See if South Carolina can hit the empty net.
I do have to say, it's not a good thing when the refs know you, though. They know you that well.
There it is. It's Agent Zero. Griffin Giles puts one home.
And this is the situation. You're a defender. You come out and you're covering somebody who's faster than you. It's like the second they get that, there's so much space in lacrosse field. Everybody's locking off. The second that guy gets around you, it's like you said, the empty net there, and able to finally put them back in the net. But
yeah,
I've been on the wrong side of that plenty of times. You're trying to make a play, trying to turn it over, and it's a tough spot to be in as a defender.
Yep.
Especially when the guy's fast, and he's always fast. For some reason, coaches don't give their slow player the ball out of the timeout.
Yeah,
with the double team
weird.
coming.
Yeah, why don't they do that?
This face-off win here for Georgia Tech. Under 3 minutes to go. South Carolina in its first ever MCLA national tournament. Going to be moving on into the quarterfinals. Take on Cal tomorrow.
Yeah, if you're Georgia Tech here, I wouldn't even be subbing. I would just, whoever's on there, go.
See what you can do.
Yeah, just go. You got your D-middies on, you got your poles on, just bury them. Give it to whoever your best attackman is and let them go to the rack.
Shot sails high. It's deflected and checked on the way.
Talk early! Talk early!
South Carolina double teaming. Trying to finish this thing off. Found shot sails wide. Georgia Tech there for the backup. 2 minutes to go. Guys, when we look ahead to this tournament, we're going to see South Carolina and Cal here tomorrow in the quarterfinals. Either of these teams have what it takes to make a real deep run in this thing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you look at, what these teams have top to bottom, great goalies, great face-off guys, and then all the players in between. I think, you certainly have a chance. I know Utah and Chapman are the favorite, but, these teams are playing hard. They're athletic. They're big. St. Thomas, the D2 squad. There's some great teams out here.
I think you hit the nail on the head. If you're going to make a run in a tournament, in this tournament, you got to have great face-off play and great goaltending.
Yeah.
And you can kind of figure everything else out, it seems like.
South Carolina, this team likely getting stronger with some of these players. Greg goes to scoop up the loose ball. One ground ball for Greg Bice here today.
I got low.
Four games. 4 games and
got it down.
One ground ball.
Hey, you know what? Whatever it takes.
First time ground ball, too.
Wait till you see this throw here. I'm trying to get it in.
I got the ball right here.
And the refs.
Here we go.
You're going to need to keep that one as a souvenir.
They didn't even want to use. I didn't get to throw it.
They didn't want it. You got a man-up opportunity here for Georgia Tech. Minute to go.
They have had success. They have had success on the man up.
Yeah. That one almost stings the corner. A laser. Riley Callaghan launching one. How about another one? Nice save by Haynes.
He's been steady. How about the bounce pass?
Yeah.
A little flare from the goalie.
17 seconds left on the game clock here. And South Carolina going to hold on to it. The Gamecocks able to bounce back after a loss to Virginia Tech in the SELC championship game. South Carolina back to their winning ways, and they are on to the second round. They'll take on Cal, the Golden Bears, in the second round here tomorrow in the quarterfinals of the MCLA National Tournament. Well, guys, this was fun. It was a long day, 4 games. We got 2 more coming up tomorrow. Greg, Josh, appreciate it, guys. It was fun.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Travis. You crushed it.
So for Greg Bice, Josh Hawkins, our entire crew, the camera guys up on the lift, everybody pressing all the buttons. Thanks for watching. Your final score, South Carolina 10, Georgia Tech 4.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Meso, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black is pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Meso Composite, balanced, battle tested. My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but